This week on Outdoor Nation TV, me and Marty are headed up north to Alberta, Canada to see if we can get a big bull moose on the ground with archery equipment. Well, this turned out to be some of the best footage that we've ever shot on Outdoor Nation TV. And I shot it.
Welcome to our show. We are one.
So I got a call from Rick Gage, probably May or April of 2021. He knew that, I'd always had a kind of goal of killing, North America's big three, in my opinion, a bear, a moose, and an elk with a bow. He had an opportunity to get us on a moose in Alberta, Canada, with our friend Kevin Sickens. And so I wasn't gonna pass it up. After a little begging, got the wife to agree to let me take off and go. So we got the trip set up for September of 21, and started learning everything I could about moose hunting. It's our first day in Alberta. We just got here, had a long flight, didn't get back to the house till after 3 this morning. Went out this morning just kind of half out of it, no sleep. We slept an hour before we went out in the field. We're gonna see if our bow's on, still sighted in. We got banged around a whole bunch. Actually had a dent in my bow case when we got here, so we're gonna make sure everything's lining out and see if we can go get one this afternoon. Somehow getting banged around, we were shooting about a foot to the right. We've moved the pins a little bit. I think it's probably my arrow rest got moved, and we've got it back on target, and we're gonna see if we can go get us one. This is a new property to all of us. No one's really hunted it, especially not for moose where we were going. Just knew that they were in the area, and the guys had seen them in that area a lot of times. But we're on a new piece of ground that they hadn't hunted much. Probably see it on our faces the first time we go to call a moose. I don't think myself or Rick had never seen that.
Come on down to the Catfish Corner and get your own self a catfish.
If I could have another afternoon with my grandmother, I would be so blessed.
I'm very proud to be a Potawatomi. I always have been. That's the way I was taught.
If you keep that history alive, you keep the people alive.
The more that I learn about the Potawatomi culture, the more I see how it is still a part of my family and how those people, that is what my mom was. The things that she pursued, the things important to her, the things that she passed on to me.
The fight. You're a member of the tribe. You're part of the family. So that's real important.
Wonderful memories down here on this land, in this area.
How friendly the people are.
Really?
That's fake news.
Find your elders and get all the information, no matter how busy you are.
I just want to say I am very proud of my family here.
You know, it's been said if you're not reaching back to help someone, you're not building your legacy. Rainmaker's legacy began with our grandfather, then our father, who taught us success is more than just making money. It's about the relationships and making a difference.
We hope that when we give back to our community, we impact people's lives, improve their future, and our values are passed down to our children. Hopefully, we inspire other people to invest in our community.
Randy's Tire and Alignment has a loyal customer base built on trust, talent, and time. We love what we do, and your trust fuels our business. Our talented auto repair professionals bring years of experience, skill, and education. We take the time to listen to you and understand your needs or goals for your vehicle. Randy's Tire and Alignment, where we treat you like family.
Welcome to Shawnee Feed Center. You want muck boots? We got them. You want Carhartt gear? We got them.
Vet supplies.
We got that too. We've got livestock feed that's made here locally since 1906. Dog food, pet food, we got that too. We got tons of it, literally. Seed and fertilizer, we got that too. We have cone seeders, we have discs, we have rototillers. So come and see us here at Shawnee Feed Center. We have everything that you need.
Towards the evening, we moved out to an open place that has this muskeg, spongy stuff all over the ground and a bunch of small juniper trees, and set up at a crossing where they had just basically some trails. Right before we lost light, we have a small one come in, presents himself probably 30 yards. You know, it was the first night, and it definitely wasn't what we were there for.
Good morning from Alberta. Second morning here. Going after a big bull moose.
Day two, we spent basically 12 hours walking, calling. The wind had picked up quite a bit, made it impossible for them to hear us, and even more impossible for us to hear them call back. I think we spent most of the day chasing ghosts. Never really had one that was confirmed. There were signs everywhere. You could find where they'd been eating twigs, but we just couldn't get on one. Day 3, we're on the evening hunt. Been slow all morning. Every morning had really been slow. I hadn't seen much movement. Really just spent most of the time walking and calling and seeing nothing. This evening's a little different. The wind has died down. The colors are just gorgeous. And we're getting some answers when we call. We hadn't really been able to pinpoint where one was, but we knew there was one responding to us from the ridge to the west of us. So we set up in some little spruce trees. Got Rick behind me, sitting in the lane with the camera on the tripod. I'm tucked in the trees about 50 yards away from him, and we've got one responding. And we know we're losing daylight by the second. Sounds like a little better, deeper growl coming back to us, so we're getting excited. I couldn't make a decision if he was big enough at that time. I mean, we'd only seen one other one that was tiny. This one was definitely a better moose. It happens so quick, you've got to make a decision to shoot or no shoot, and I didn't shoot. After we got home and started looking at the footage that night, I just kicked myself because we got a good look at him. He circled around us, got downwind from us, and then just kind of walked off.
Fire Lake gives back to the South Rock Creek Turkey Dinner through generous donation of resources.
Fire Lake Foods gives back by donating enough food to feed 250 people every week.
Fire Lake Discount Foods, your community grocer, making a difference.
I've made a very good living playing guitar and writing songs, and that's my job, and I love it. I consider myself very fortunate. You can be from a very, very small town like this and reach for a star and get it.
I'm old enough to know better, but I'm still too young to care.
I came because I had a ill-fitting partial. I was extremely ashamed of my appearance and my smile. My first visit, I came in tears, and I was reassured by Dr. Hall about how everything was going to be okay. They was going to be able to help me. We followed that treatment plan around my budget. It is worth $1 million to me. I just feel beautiful.
Visit our website, implantsurgerycenter.com, to get your smile transformation started today.
Come over here to the Extreme Animals. There's many more animals. It only costs you $5 for all day.
So day 4 was a bust. Moving on to day 5. Shortly after daylight, we start calling. It was kind of surreal that morning. Ducks are flying in everywhere. The fog's rolling off of the lake. It was just a beautiful morning. We start calling. Within minutes, get a response. We can tell it's coming from across the lake from us and just to the south of where we were set up. But he's definitely coming down through the tree line just on the opposite bank. After probably the 3rd or 4th response, he pokes his head out. And he's a younger moose. When he first stepped out, they're just giant animals. If you haven't been up close to one, you just don't realize how big they really are. He comes walking across the part of the lake that was probably 4 feet deep, and he's walking in it like it's ankle deep. And he doesn't know we're there. He's walking right to us. Even though it's day 5 and we've been hunting hard and we're pretty exhausted, we had seen a big one from a distance, and we knew what they looked like. So if we hadn't seen that big mature bull, we probably would have put this one in the back of the truck.
Well, there's a big difference between Alberta moose and the big moose up in the Yukon. Those Yukon moose are going to be anywhere from 60 to 70 inches wide and lots of mass, but these moose in Alberta, realistically, you can probably count on a good moose being somewhere in the high 30s to maybe 50 inches tops there in the Alberta territory.
We're definitely after something bigger, but it was an incredible experience, and it was fun to make a plan and call and everything work out just like what we thought. And he came to us, and we let him walk.
I mean, some of these fish we catch are, 60, 70, 80 pounds, and people don't realize it till you see them right next to you how big they actually are.
I came because I had an ill-fitting partial. I was extremely ashamed of my appearance and my smile. My first visit, I came in tears, and I was reassured by Dr. Hall about how everything was going to be okay. They was going to be able to help me. We followed that treatment plan around my budget. It is worth $1 million to me. I just feel beautiful.
Visit our website, implantsurgerycenter.com, to get your smile transformation started today.
Fire Lake gives back to the South Rock Creek Turkey Dinner through generous donation of resources.
Fire Lake Foods gives back by donating enough food to feed 250 people every week.
Fire Lake Discount Foods, your community grocer, making a difference.
You know, it's been said if you're not reaching back to help someone, you're not building your legacy.
Rainmaker's legacy began with our grandfather, then our father, who taught us success is more than just making money. It's about the relationships and making a difference.
We hope that when we give back to our community, we impact people's lives, improve their future, and our values are passed down to our children. Hopefully, we inspire other people to invest in our community.
I've made a very good living playing guitar and writing songs, and that's my job, and I love it. I consider myself very fortunate. You can be from a very, very small town like this and reach for a star and get it.
I'm old enough to know better, but I'm still too young to care.
We all have a story to tell. You're not telling the story to us. You're not telling the story to your family. You're telling the story that your great-great-grandchildren will have the opportunity to see and listen to you.
Serve others, and you'll get that reward you're looking for.
Look at all these boys and girls. All we are doing here at One Nation Expo is preaching the outdoors. One Nation Fire Lake.
Well, I had the best time getting to hang out with Marty and run and gun for those moose up there in Alberta, but I had to get back. It was right around October 1st, and I had to get back because we had a giant buck, the mega buck, that you guys might have seen in episode 1 that I had to get Taylor on, and so I had to leave Marty and Kevin alone and get back to the state of Oklahoma and get one of those kids after that buck.
After that hunt, I still hadn't taken a shot. I, did draw back on him and changed my mind after I saw that he just wasn't what we were looking for. We had spent 5 days riding ATVs a few miles into this bush. There's no real trails. It's the bumpiest thing you've ever ridden on. Our hips were sore. I mean, it was the most taxing, trip into the trees that you can imagine. Once he left, I didn't have a cameraman, so we were doing everything with the GoPros. I had 2 or 3 GoPros mounted on me, the bow. I had one out on a tripod, and so we were just filming with that. We moved. We jumped on the 4-wheelers, made a 4-mile trip around north of the property, and set up down in a bottom near the north end of the lake. We called for a couple hours from that area and finally decided to hang it up for the morning. We walk up to where we had parked the quads, and we're on a power line, and we turn and look, and right where we were setting, the giant that we'd been hunting walks by. Typically Going after a moose isn't run and gun, it's more call and wait. And we knew that there was nothing but a couple hundred yards of woods and a lake between me and where that moose was going. So I just took off. Get set up, and within seconds, he comes walking right to us. We're crawling around in the brush, shaking like a leaf. My adrenaline's going, my heart's pounding because I just ran through there. I've got a second to shoot and draw back, and the arrow comes off of my nock. Just one of those things, you're in the brush. It was an incredible experience. He was close, and it was the big one I'd been wanting, and just didn't get it done. Repeat the whole thing over again, even if the outcome was the same. But it just nothing like it.
Well, I tell you what, Marty was super excited to get back, and he started telling me all the stories and showing me some of the footage. And I'd like for us to take a slow look at what happened on that last day, because they always throw me under the bus on all my debacles out there that I do, all my mistakes. So let's take a slower look at what happened there on that draw. As you can see, Marty's got the big moose that he's been chasing all week long. 7-8 days, right out there about 30-40 yards, broadside, walking nice and slow. And his old big strong Marty pulls back that 80-pound bow that he's got. I don't know, man. It looked like something went wrong there a little bit. And I wasn't gonna let him get away with it. I had to make sure that we really talked about it, and you all got to see what happened, because he makes fun of me a lot. Well, that's all the time we got for this week. Please stay tuned next week. We are going to be heading to a couple of different places, Montana and Colorado. We'll be chasing big elk. Hope you tune in.